I think when we shot Transition, I wrote it probably like December time 2015, and while I was at school and like doing my GCSEs, I was probably like 15 years old. I was editing that until like around December time. We had a premiere at St Joseph's College in Swindon, which is where me and Adam we'd go to theatre school on weekends. At that point, we had been doing that since the ages of like 4. And the facilities they had there, they had a big hall. It was quite a large school. They had a big projector, which was as close as we could get at the time to a cinema to screen it. We charged like £3 a ticket, I think, and we had like 80 to 100 people turn up. Fortunately, we lost all the footage for that, but no, it was good. So I obviously released like the original cut for it, and well, over the years since I've learned how to compose, which is something I've really wanted to do. I managed to recover a lot of the footage from an old hard drive, which known to me, I thought it had all gone. I've composed a new soundtrack. It's now full frame rather than 16:9 aspect ratio, and it looks a lot more vibrant now. The image. I've written a feature version of this script, which hopefully one day I can make that. But just the opportunity to film rather than study was amazing. Obviously I made films as a kid, but yeah, just having the opportunity to bring something to life visually for any artist is really gratifying. I mean, there are a few people who are experienced with like sides of like videography, I guess, and photography. So some people had like a visual eye, and then some people were just not necessarily creators, but people just enjoyed film, and sort of actors who needed roles, and they just sort of joined along. And there was like 8 of us just rolling around this car park for a week. It was kind of fun. Adam's my best mate, and yeah, he did an amazing performance in this. Action. It's a shame he doesn't want to get into acting, to be honest. I mean, he's always said it's a backup career for him, but yeah, it's sort of his passion for his work. It's sort of like me with my filmmaking. A lot of me that I put into Rick's character. Yeah. And then Frank, well, he's just like any person who's sort of like, you get those people in life who just want to sort of like drag you down, feed off of you, parasites in a way. But yeah, Zach is well, me and Zach met through doing photography as a hobby through Instagram. He's not an actor of any kind, but he did a great job. So Lizzie, we only had 3 days because other people had other commitments over the summer. That was the longest length of time we could get all these 8 people and assemble this crew and have them in one space. I feel like the 3 days, although it got incredibly stressful, and I almost lost my sanity at some point, it sort of I feel like it added to the chemistry of the set. A lot of people found it quite tedious. They hadn't been on a set before and weren't used to perhaps waiting their turn, waiting for jobs to come up. There is a lot of waiting around. But for me, being the one in charge, I was constantly active, constantly having to put my direction forward and alter things. But yeah, I feel like just the short space of time we had over those 3 days really added to the outcome of the film, it being a sort of a race against time, and sort of added to the insanity and the adrenaline of the movie. And obviously I've taken inspiration from works such as as Nolan. I think at the time Interstellar and Inception were big inspirations of mine. I watched Donnie Darko, and it really got me fascinated on all the different concepts you could make from the concept of parallel universes. And I was originally at a writing class and we were doing a group activity, and we had to come up with a script. My script wasn't finalised enough, but I suggested this brief idea of a guy who could predict the future via these notes that he'd come across and a stopwatch. I know, I look back on it with a lot of fondness. It will remain a pinnacle point in my life. Yeah, it's something I really admire, because it will always be my first proper movie in a way. Maybe not feature film, but my first official short film is still incredible. And for my first film, I had to give myself praise. I feel like I did an exceptional job, considering. Yeah, I wrote the script over a few months. Didn't storyboard at the time. I do now. I see the importance now. I think, especially if you're going into feature films. But yeah, sort of just like catalogue it in my brain and just dive straight in. Like, sort of just wait until the day. Or if you don't rely on like hand notes, then ideas tend to come to me more. It was sort of, I was in a position where I had limited resources and I had to think wisely about what I would use. Like at the time, I had it's not even a £200 refurbished budget camera, which was like full HD and whatnot. So I couldn't go up to 4K digital. I didn't have that scale or that format to shoot on. And yeah, obviously I made a few friends at like acting school that I go to on weekends, and Adam being my best mate. I cast him, I cast Lizzie, and Zach said that he'd help out, because I didn't know too many actors other than them. And the others, sort of had to teach them how to use like sound equipment that was new to them. Yeah, I think I've learned a lot. How to manage a set, how to boost up morale on a job which is so tedious. It's yeah. And again, you think about your next shot, you're thinking about the lighting, you're thinking about this, you're thinking about time. I believe on the third day we went back to the car park to do some reshoots, though we had made some errors after I checked the footage that night. Had no sleep over those 3 days. So we went from the car park, then drove straight to the wind farm and had that half a day left to do it. We were running on thin lines.
Wait, we got a car coming back.
I like my films to be dark, I like intensity, I want it to have an eeriness and a wonder to it. Obviously the film sort of makes you question your existence, and I wanted that for the audience. Hopefully as we develop this into a feature film, yeah, I'm just want to up the scale. The film's about love. It might not seem on the surface, but it is. It's a race against time for love, and it questions, human nature, and it questions what a person would do for love and what lengths they'd go to. I guess it's about survival.